Hello everybody. So this video is a little bit long overdue since I have started already giving you some of you access to the bot, but I needed to do this ASAP because I don't want you guys to be trading with the bot without understanding how to properly use it, and I don't want you guys to be losing money just because you don't know how to use the bot. All right. So the first things that I have to say, this is not financial advice by any means, guys. Like you always know, I'm just here to help you guys, but I'm not financial advice. You take your own decisions, you take your own risk. This bot, it's only an indicator, and just like any other, such as moving averages, MACD, Bollinger Bands, RSI, etc. There's multiple of them. You can just click here, and you're gonna see how many indicators there are. This is just one built by me, all right? And it only indicates something to look at. It doesn't mean that you have to trade it right away. So that's why I'm here making this video. Next thing is that this bot is not an automated trading bot. Like it does not place trades for you. It will just give you a signal, an automated signal. The bot works real time, will give you a signal real time. You log in your trading view and you go check it out. You decide whether you want to take the trade. You go into your Robinhood app, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Webull, whatever broker you have, and you go ahead and place a trade if you're interested. It does not trade for you. If you have a paid trading view plan, um, I made it so that you can create an alert on each buying signal. What that means is that you could be at work, you could be in vacation, you could be at the beach, you can be anywhere and you will still get a signal straight to your phone saying, "Hey, look at Twitter. It's giving you a buying signal. Take a look at it." And you go ahead, log in and take a look at it. Basically, you can be doing whatever you want, but you do have to have a paid TradingView account so that you can enjoy that premium bot alerts. Another thing, guys, this bot is designed for day, intraday, and swing trading mostly. It's not used as an investment or anything like that for long term over a year or anything like that. And I wouldn't even recommend doing that, especially if you're a trader. Um, you don't want to be holding things for too long, just because they can turn around pretty quick. The market is a sinusoidal, just like you see here. It goes up, and eventually it will go up, down again. You don't want to hold forever because you just never know the longer you hold for. So this thing that I created works really, really well on blue chip stocks. Um, but I've done some research and I've looked at multiple types of assets such as cryptos, forex, and also stocks that are OTC, over the counter. So you don't, they're not regular per se stocks, and it works just well as fine on all of them, every single asset, and mostly every single time frame. You just have to set it up correctly. Now, there is something that you need to take account for when taking any signal in the bot is that for you to have better results, you will need to take a look at what I call the bigger picture. So let's say you are in the 15-minute time frame, meaning each little candle that you see here, these things are called candlesticks. That means each of them represents 15 minutes worth of time of the price moving up and down and then closing in at certain prices. So as you can see, we have a candle at 10:30 and then the next one is at 10:45. It completes at 10:45. In the 15-minute chart, for example, you want to have, I usually use the 50 EMA, but to simplify my life, what I do is that I look at the bigger picture by saying, okay, I have to look at the 50 EMA on the H1 as well. So let's take a look at it. But instead of doing this, I go ahead and click here. So 15 minutes, it's 1 hour is 4 times 15 minutes, right? So I just click 200, which I multiply 50 by 4, and I go back to my 15-minute time frame, and it's basically gonna give me the same moving average that you see here. This is the 50 moving average on the H1, but represented on the 15-minute chart time frame. You want to take a look at that because it's very important. We need this for the overall picture so that you can place a trade with a better probability of success per se. So first things first, um, the bot does give you sell signals, as you can see, especially not sell signals, but shorting signals, which is basically if you flip the chart, you can sell something that you don't have, and you can also profit with this on the way down, just as you do on the way up. It's called shorting the market. You can do that, but for simplicity and for purposes that it's already hard enough to go long. Imagine having to go long and short at the same time. I take it out. So you go here in the settings, style, and you take it out, and it disappears from the thing, and it simplifies a little bit the chart as well. This thing gives you multiple signals. All right. How do you know it's a good signal? The first things first is that I want my signal to be after. Well, I already set it up to be like that, so it's always gonna give you a signal above the EMA, the moving average that you set up to be. So in my case, it's gonna be the 200 one, but you can set it up to be the 100 one. You can set it up to be the 500 one if you wished. You see? So before we had a buy signal here, it's no longer there. All right, so let's go back to the 200 so you can see that I'm not lying. There you go. It's always going to give you a signal. You always want that to happen. You don't want to buy anything that's below that line. You don't want to trade in anything that it's falling down just because quote unquote it's cheap. It does not work like that because there's no guarantee. As a matter of fact, there's no guarantee this is gonna go up here. So how is there a guarantee that this is gonna go up from here? You know, it there's none of them. So you want to wait for that, for the price to be above that line. That's the first thing. This thing works extremely well and how I trade it. This is personally how I trade it. Is that I take advantage of what's called the regular market movement. So the market goes up, has to take a rest, and then keeps going up, for example. As you can see, market goes up, take a rest, and keeps going up. Now let's say I didn't place a trade here because I didn't have the bot, whatever. And then I see the market going down here, right? I'm waiting for a confirmation of the market going up after it's been going down, dropping for a few days per se. Usually I like it to drop for a few days before I take a long signal. I don't want a short drop and then buying signal right away. I like this, the market falling down for around a week and then or two and then giving me a buy signal. As you can see, after the first buying signal that you get, this price in Twitter went up 52%. So that means if you had $1,000 invested in Twitter, you would have made around 520 bucks back. All right, which you think it's a lot or it's not, but it's a really big change, especially in a blue chip stock like Twitter. You don't see that every day. And again, how would you have cashed this move if you were randomly just buying and selling without knowing how to read the charts? Well, the bot helps you out with that. So again, like I said, you want to wait for a drop on the market, right? And then get a confirmation of the market going up with the buying signal that the bot is going to give you. And then you place your stop losses and your take profits if you have one. Ideally, you always want to have them both. But I suggest that 200% that you always use a stop loss, which is the only thing that makes us money in the stock market is the fact that we control our risk and we control our losses. Something else that I wanted to say is that I personally don't trade um, anything after the third, between the third and the fifth signal. So, for example, if I didn't take a trade here, or I didn't take a trade here, or I didn't take a trade here because I didn't believe the stock was going to go up, or whatever reason I didn't, I personally don't take any other than this. I don't take those. I haven't. I wouldn't take those. Personally, don't do that because I like to take advantage of the move itself, not taking advantage of a piece of the move per se. I don't know if that's clear enough for you guys, but I hope you understood. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But like I said, I don't personally take any signals after the third or fifth signal. Between the third and the fifth depends how the chart's looking for me. Um, what I mean is this, for example. So you get a buying signal, you get a second, and you get a third. That's three opportunities the market is telling you, buy me here right now. I'm gonna go up. If you did not take this, you missed this. Now the problem is I don't like buying because what I do here is that I control my risk. So I buy really cheap and I have a stop loss setup right here. If I'm buying high, I still get a buy signal, right? Which is perfect. That means the bot is working. But the problem is I have a big gap between my moving averages, as you can see, and my buying signal. I don't like that. You see this right here? I don't take those. I take it when it's close to the moving averages so I can take advantage of having tighter stop losses. So if this thing decides to go wrong against me, I have a small loss, therefore making my winners a lot bigger. If I were to have taken this trade right here, again, that would have been 52% profit if I would have held all the way up. Now, that might have been the case. That might have not been the case depending on the person, your risk tolerance, and your patience. But that's pretty much what I do. If by any chance you're buying, I do something that it's called cross timeframes. So I'm gonna show you guys. If you're buying below, so this is the M5 and this is the M15 down here. All right. Let me show you. Let me put it so that you can see. Right here on the M5, I'm getting a buying signal. But the problem is on the M15, it's still below the EMA. What I do personally to take advantage of this signal so I can take the most advantage of the big move right before it happens is that I say, okay, well, I don't want to risk my full, I don't want to put out there my full risk. So I invest only 50% of what I usually invest in the market. So let's say if I usually put $1,000 into buying a stock, I'm only investing this time $500. All right. That means a risk of 5% on my account or my trade becomes only at 2.5%, right? Because I'm only risking half. A regular risk of 5% for me would now become only 2.5%. That gives me the chance that if the trade goes wrong this early, I only lose 2.5%. But if it goes right, what I do is that I wait for the stock to be above, as you can see. Sorry, I had to take a second to delete everything. I don't want to confuse you guys. All right, that's fine enough. So I wait for a signal in the actual time frame that I trade, which is the M15. And I also wait for a signal in my M5 again. So after placing a trade here, I place another one here for the other half of my position. All right. The difference is that I'm already in profit. As you can see, I was in profit all the way from here to here. I'm already 6, if you have counted, all the way up to here, 13. 13.5%, I would have been in profit. By the time that it gets me another signal, that would have been 6.5% around there. So with half a position, that would have been 3.5%, 4% that I'm already earning before I even buy again and complete a full position size. So as you can see, I took advantage of a big move, right? Way before it even gave me a signal on the M15. So in reality, what it could have been, let's say I closed it up here on 23%, I really closed it with a 31%, which, like it or not, believe it or not, makes a big difference. And I didn't risk as much as I usually risk on the markets. As you can see, you usually get a lot of signals. How you can filter it out, by the way, it's by incrementing the factors. So if you're incrementing the factors, you have to increment two of them, by the way, um, two and two. And you can see that I now get a lot less signals, more clear, by the way. And you can also increment the amount of signals, I think, again. Or you can play around with this, see what you get for each stock. Um, but as you can see, I could have taken advantage of a move all the way from down here for a 63% compared to a 52 that you guys saw on the M15 chat time frame. Sounds like it's not a lot, but when you when you make 1,000 trades in a year, eventually that percentage will add up. And the fact that you're risking less if it goes wrong, it's gonna help you out a lot, your account, not to lose as much money as of the one that you make back. So you keep a lot of the money that you make and you control your risk quite a lot more. Something that I don't like doing, guys, for example, is trading with the bot if the market it's ranging. If you guys don't know what that is, I'm gonna make a course that it's gonna show you a bunch of information related to technical analysis. Not so much about fundamental because I personally don't trade fundamentals. Um, but pretty much as you can see, the bot does work. You know, um, I explained already. You wouldn't like to take this because look at the gap here. Guess what happens? Market falls down. Now look at the difference between this signal and this signal. Market was going down, right? Broke above that, gave me a buying signal. It's close to my EMA. All right, so I'm buying at a cheap point and I can afford a bigger stop loss. And then I take advantage of a move, brand new move for 10% profit, right? That's the idea. Again, here, same thing. As you can see, market was falling down, but it never gave me a signal. Market just one day, for whatever reason, I don't know if that was a earnings report, a fundamental news that came out, something, but gave me another buying signal, way too gapped compared to my EMAs. And guess what happens? Market goes down. You don't want that. Now look at this again. Market now has been going down, right? Breaks above that, gives me a buying signal. As you can see, it's close to my EMA, and guess what happens next day? 10% profit, 9% profit. And it just keeps moving like that. That's how you analyze the signals. And that's what I meant that you don't take every single signal because you can't do that. It's an indicator. It's not a actual bot that trades for you, right? You have to still analyze the market. You have to still take a decision upon the signal. Now, it is a really good product out there. It's going to help you out a lot, make money. I know it can and I know it will. Give you another example. Market has been up, gives you a buying signal, but it's too gapped. I don't want that. Chances are market is going to fall down. Now, the market has been falling down, right? give me a buying signal, and guess what? I have a losing trade. I have a stop loss, and it lost to me around 2-3%, right? But guess what happens? I just wait. Market keeps falling down, right? Breaks above that, gives me another buying signal. You wait for this to be close to your EMA. You have a stop loss of 3, 4%, 5%, depends on what your risk management is, right? It was at some point going negative. It came back, kept giving you buying signals, and the market did eventually go up. Now, that's called patience, right? That's something that I wanted to show you guys. You have to be patient with this, but it will give its fruit. Like I said, gap up, buying signal, I don't take it, market falls down. All right, as you can see, market has been going down, breaks above that, gives me a buying signal, and then it goes up another 10%. And as you can see, this does not go up in 2 days. All right, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This went up from all the way from here to all the way here in seven full days, almost 8. All right. Now you do have to have the patience to be able to do this, but I guarantee you that it's gonna be worth it, especially if you do options. And I'm also gonna do an options course if you guys are interested. So if you guys are, just let me know. That's pretty much how the bot works. I was showing you guys Twitter as an example of what to do and what not to do and how to trade the bot. Again, like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll be here answering all of them.